Across the world, we're putting more children behind bars today than ever before.
It's not very nice. It's just not very nice.
To find out what prisons do to children, we talked to child prisoners from the UK to Mongolia, the USA to the Philippines, asking them about their lives, their hopes and their fears.
कमरे के अंदर ना खेलते हैं ना तो मार पड़ती है हल्ला करते हैं हम लोग इसलिए
I do bad things, but people aren't bad, they just make mistakes. And I made a mistake.
Todo mundo apanha. Não tem um que não apanha de monitor aqui.
Secure units, reformatories, boot camps. They're all names for the same thing, child prisons. Most of the children who fill them have committed persistent but quite minor crimes.
Are you scared? Answer me, son! Sir, sir!
Today, there are almost 500,000 children locked up around the world. These are the stories of just some of them.
You move up, you fat little git.
You better get your ass through that door.
Don't look at me like I'm a piece of shit on the bottom of your shoe, because I ain't.
Paul is just 12 years old. Small for his age and partially dyslexic, he was already struggling at school when he got into trouble with the police.
In school I kept getting bullied and because I've got problems, handwriting problems. Makes me feel like I'm just no one, and it feels like they're seeing right through me. It feels horrible, because most of them probably just think he's nothing but trouble.
Do you think that about yourself?
I think that I'm just one of them bad people. I'm a bad person. Hopefully when I get out, everyone will forgive me for what I've done.
Paul's not a murderer or a rapist, but after several run-ins with the police, he got caught for stealing some golf clubs and a pack of Pokemon cards. For these crimes, Paul was sent to a local authority secure unit.
I was a bit shocked. I was a lot shocked when I did get sentenced to 8 months. And I done 4 months.
Paul, what do you want to do next, huh? IT.
Oh, please.
Eh?
Please.
Paul, don't give me that little puppy dog look, right? Come on, let's do something else instead of IT.
I can't do nothing.
You can, you can have a game of footy.
I don't know what football is.
Or we'll play table tennis then.
Don't know what table
Or we'll watch telly then.
Don't like watching telly.
Well, you need to start something else because you can't do it on the computer all the time. Come in the lounge with me, alright? And we'll see if we get a game of cards going on.
Play for money.
No, we won't play for money, right? We'll do that then, yeah?
By law, bullying should not be allowed.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
What have I done to you?
Come on, tea time.
No, tea time, you twat.
Hey, Gordon, come on, it's tea time. You better get your ass through that door, boy. Fucking. Oh, yo. Oi, BA. Take that, boy.
I should have, some medical help. Professional medical help. and keeping me out of trouble and stuff. I'm not sure if you can get tablets to calm you down and stuff like that, but behaviour tablets to keep you out of trouble and stuff like that. But even if they could, they would be nice.
So if there was a magic tablet you could be given that would say, this will make you a good boy, you'd like that?
I'd nick it off and take it. So I don't want to get into trouble with the police no more. It's not worth it.
There are about 3,500 child prisoners in the UK, more than almost any other country in Europe. Most child prisoners are sent to young offenders institutes, but this is a secure unit. Holding both girls and boys, it's designed for only the youngest and most vulnerable. It costs up to £3,000 a week to keep a child here.
Sam, could you budge up a little bit because you're
I've got both top scores running.
I was sat here first.
Ronnie.
You move up, you fat little git.
Ronnie.
Shut up.
Look, you can move there and still see it.
Sam is 15. This is her third time in a secure unit. Like many child prisoners, she's been in and out of children's homes and foster care for years. She traces the start of her troubles to the breakup of her parents' marriage.
When my parents got divorced, I hated that. I thought, oh, my parents don't care about me because like, my mum changed and my dad changed, things like that. You know, everything just changed. Changed me as well. I started taking drugs and I was like, drugs is bad, but nobody ever takes drugs. And then when I started doing that, I was like, oh, this is happening as well. And I started like thinking, oh, this is life, this is real, do you know what I mean? This is what life is all about.
Like many teenagers, Sam finds it hard to control her anger. But it's the violence that sometimes comes when she loses her temper that has been causing her problems.
Sam, one thing I would say, when you're answering these questions, right, put it into your own words.
We have.
Okay. Quite enough times you're lifting whole Ronnie! Whole sentences. Hang on, excuse me.
I don't even know what to do on this one.
Hello. Ah! No, I can't take it now. I'll call back. Okay, cheers. Sam, can you move, please?
Boy!
Round here, come.
No, I was sat here first.
Sam, I'm not having you hitting other pupils.
He hit me first.
Oh, she's mucking around.
Doesn't slap me the rule. Sam, could you just move around, please?
No, he hit me first. No, I was sat here
Come on,
first.
you have to leave. Come on.
What for? Because I won't move.
Sam, you have to leave.
Why? Why?
You know why.
No, I don't know why.
Sam, you have
Right, Ronnie hit me, so I hit him back with a ruler. Now she wants me to move there.
Look, you put a mark on his back.
That was ages ago, because I noticed it when he was sitting
That
there.
was ages
Can you
ago.
move round, Sam? Ronnie, please.
What, and he flicked me in here and he gets away with it?
No, he shouldn't have done that either.
Yeah, but I don't see you having fucking go at him.
Come on, out you go.
Dickhead. You stuck up bitch.
Come away from the door. Just wait quietly by the door.
I'll get him first.
Fucking Jenny, stuck up fucking bitch.
Fucking hell, man, you have to go.
And I get angry. I say some nasty things and I do nasty things and I hate myself for doing that. I wouldn't give it a fucking satisfaction to fucking stuck up. Then I think I can't help it and I can't help my hormones, can't help my feelings, whatever. It's just the way I am, that's me. And when I get angry, I think, I sit down, like when I come, I think I really wish I was a different person. I wish I could change my attitude and my anger and things like that. But you can't, you can just try and work on changing it. But you can't change as a person. So.
Jenny! Stupid fucking bitch. You're a dickhead, man. Yeah. I ain't going to know this one again. Never.
In the summer, I was never at my foster placement. I was always running away and things like that. And I'd get really, really drunk and I couldn't even remember what I'd done the night before. Taking drugs and things like that as well. And then first thing on my mind in the morning would be, right, I've got to go and get some alcohol, and I'd go down and I'd get done for shoplifting, for nicking a bottle of vodka or something like that. And then when I was on drugs and things, I used to beat people up, get in fights, and that's what most of my offences are, like assaults, ABH, things like that. It's just stupid. A lot of alcohol's the worst drug I've ever known. Like, yeah, heroin's bad and things like that, but alcohol's got a lot to answer for, I think, because it just changes you completely, changes your attitude and everything. So if I hadn't started drinking, I wouldn't be here now, I don't think.
No, man.
Not at all.
We will follow Sam and Paul as they serve their sentences behind these walls. Will their time here change them for the better, or set them firmly on the road to a criminal career?
When children are first picked up by the police in Ulaanbaatar, the capital of Mongolia, they are taken to the police detention centre, a mile or so from the city. Enkbata has been in these cells for 4 months now. He hasn't been to court yet because his parents can't be found.
Тэтгэврээр бид нар болгоол өвтөс. Тэгэл миний болгоо өгөөд надад захиатгласан. Энд баригдсан байгаа 2 ах. Надад цуг болгоо өгөх бол цуг болгоо ивэл ах нь чамд дүүгээ услаа хааллаа явнаас аахгүй. Тэгэн би үгүй гэсэн чинь надад би чам ингээ одоо болгоо цуг хийх бол би чам хаална бол халаа төнөөллөж хийнэ гэдэг гэсэн. Тэгээ би цуг явж болгоо хийчихсэн.
The age of criminal responsibility here is 14, but the police sometimes detain children younger than this. 9-year-old Sen Gunjab was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Тэгээ бид онданагаа шидлэг өгчөөд хаашаа орчин ороод үзэн чинь нэг утас байсан. Тэгээ тэр утасаа дүүсэн бид 5,000 зар өгсөн. Тэгээ тэр 5,000 өгсөн ах нь баригдсан чинь болохгүй гэдгсэн чинь маргааш нь бид дүүсний ханаачууд мотор байлдаа тоглож исэн чинь бариад авсан. Тэгээ манай найз байцаагч тэр эмэгтэй байцаагч тэр очоод энэ хүүхдүүд авсан гэчээ тэгэнгүүтээ худлаа бийцэж ам болоод цутаацсан.
Уура босчроо даваач.
Намайг энд удуулж хат. Тэр имлэгийг хичээсэн. Чи 123 дөрөвгөн би ийм мэдгүй болохоор нэг өрөөнийхөө ахаас ахын 123 дөрөв шүү гэсэн чи хамгийн дээдлийнх нь 8 жил хамгийн доод нь 3 жил он чи. Тэгэхээр би яасан. Хэмээдгүнд цогтойгоо хүүхдүүдтэй имэрэл. Тэр араа юм хаалт байдаг.
Sometimes, locked away for months on end, children like Tsen Gunjav and Enkbata lose more than just their freedom. They lose their childhood.
In the United States, the first stop for a child arrested by police will usually be the local county juvenile detention center. Here, children are held while waiting to appear in court or for their parents to bail them out. Children should stay here only briefly before they are released or sentenced, but for some, this becomes a home away from home. Natalie was given 30 days in foster care, but because of difficulties finding a placement, she's now been held here for 3 months.
I've had 2 courts. I've asked both times if I could get released. They were going to release me in my first court, and my mom didn't show up.
So they would have released you if your mum had been there, but she...
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing this right now. But yeah, I would have been out, being happy, probably going back to my old ways. But in a way, I'm glad my mom didn't show up, because I'm glad they restrained me and held me here, because then it made me think more.
It was problems with her mother that brought Natalie to the detention center in the first place.
She wouldn't let me use the car. And I was like, well, I just need to use the car to go use the phone. And she's like, no, you can walk real quick. And I said, no, it's raining, just give me the car. And I grabbed the keys from her, and she hit me. And she pulled me up like this, and she goes, you know what, you want to deal with a real prison person, you're going to deal with me. And she grabbed me by my shirt and held me up. And I said, you know what, Mom, get off of me. I'm not going to punch you. I have respect for you. And she hit me, and she called me a bitch. And I said, no, that does not cut it right there. And I hit her. She called the cops, and as being my mother, I didn't think she would call the cops on me, any of her children. But I believe it now.
Everybody's brushes should be put away by now. Hair should be up.
It hurts that a mother's gonna call the cops on their daughters or their sons, you know, and I think that's wrong right there to be doing. I was crying, I was scared. But as I walked out the door, she told me, you know what, I love you. And I said, you know what, if you loved me, you wouldn't have did this to me. But I think she's trying to teach me a lesson, you know. She's trying to get me used to this environment, to say, you know what, that's not an environment to go to. Stop right there.
Most of the girls we talked to were here because their parents had called the police to deal with what many might see as family disputes. In effect, using the police and the detention home to discipline their daughters.
I see girls come in for stealing their mom's car when their mom knew they had the car, and then their mom called the cops. I think that's pretty messed up.
This is what happened to Angela.
My dad had gotten in an argument, and I told him I was going to stay at a friend's house. And I took the car, and my dad went out to go in the car, and the car wasn't there, and he reported it stolen. But I think he knew I took it. And me and my boyfriend Carlos went cruising around, and we got busted on Central. I was mad because he's my own dad. He just said that, oh, I can't put up with your things anymore, and I don't want you here anymore. I'm going to take you to the D home and everything.
These are the rules and responsibilities of the resident when they enter into the facility here. You must follow all staff instructions. You are not to be involved with any gang activity. No cursing or use of obscene language or gestures. No crossing of red lines without permission.
You just remember what to say. Can I cross the red line? Can I get a drink of water? May I cross the red line to go to my locker? May I cross the red line to use the restroom? I mean, your mind gets a clicking noise. Oh, there's a red line. Don't forget to ask. You know, it's easy. You get used to it.
No talking while on your line, during line movement, or as directed by staff.
I think the hardest rule is no talking. In the bathroom, on your lines, in the cafeteria, no talking in line movement, no talking during programs. I mean, stuff like that. We get busted for talking all the time. It's like, if we have something to say, we're gonna say it. If you're talking on your line, you can do line time. You stand behind the red line, standing straight up, looking at the wall with my hands behind my back. Do not turn and look at the control or look at other girls doing what they're doing. You just stand there for 59 minutes, just still.
Then it won't fall and hit anybody, then there won't be a problem. Do not raise your voice at me again. So.
I was not raising. Natalie,
let's go.
Why am I going back?
Natalie.
Oh.
Natalie.
Why are you? Natalie, slow down, stop at the door and wait.
You will stop.
I don't care.
Natalie.
I don't care. Just put me in my room. I don't fucking care.
You're gonna stop cursing.
No, because what am I doing? I was not even raising my fucking voice at you in there, and
Now
then you're
you're
yelling at
cussing.
me now.
Are you done cussing? Stand right here and calm down. Your attitude is poor today.
No, I was not having an attitude. That was poor.
You will not talk back to me. I'm your staff.
I don't care who you are.
Okay, you need to go stand on your line until I say to get
No,
off.
I'm not standing on my fucking line.
Then you're going to your room. You will not call me names and disrespect me and have no repercussions for it. I will set the fact that you will not disrespect me like that or other staff. Because your peers are watching your behavior.
I don't care if my peers are watching my behavior. My peers can go watch somebody else. That's all I care. I'm not here to do their time. I'm here to do my own time.
Okay.
And if it is doing my time all up in my room, I do not care. Because I'm leaving soon and I do not really give a fuck. I'm so
I'm closing the door because you're choosing to do this.
Well, this is what you get when I did. White bitch! Ah, fucking white bitch!
Natalie was given 24 hours locked in her room, off privileges, for swearing at a staff member.
Are you going to go out and meet your dad?
Well, my dad.
But for Angela, the time has come to go home. Her father has arranged her release.
Okay, I just need you to wait outside and the nurse will bring you your medication here in just a couple of minutes, okay? Gray door, exit to your right, wait in the lobby.
Good luck, Angela. Before she leaves, the nurse goes through the antidepressants and sleeping pills that Angela has been given by the detention centre.
I have to go see the doctor.
And what are these? That's if you need it for sleep.
For bedtime.
Mm-hmm. You may or may not
These
need.
are antidepressants.
Mhm.
And that's just one a day.
And she's got enough for 3 days, so you could, come back sometime. We'll just hold it here.
I'll probably come back tomorrow. Okay. Then that's all you have to do. Okay. Anytime she leaves.
Most child prisoners feel they are good for nothing. By locking them up, society reinforces that view and erodes their self-esteem even further. For Natalie, as her social worker searches for foster parents willing to take her, there's nothing to do but wait and think about what the future might hold.
This isn't a life. I sit in here and I think of the things that I'm doing and the footsteps that I'm following, I'm gonna go down the same path my mom's going down. She started in a D home. Now look at me, I'm in the D home. I could just see myself in a couple years doing good, going to college, going to do what I gotta do. But then I can see myself going down my mom's footsteps too. So I'm like right in the middle of the fork. Well, should I go down this path or this path? And right now I'm like going down the bad path.
Pumatok po sa pinto namin. Kapag katok, binuksan pa nanay ko. Tinutukan po ng pulis nanay ko ng Armalite.
In Manila, we met Eugene, a 12-year-old arrested at gunpoint along with his brother in the middle of the night.
Kami pa ako natutulog. Gigising po kami ng tatay ko. Tapos sabi, ilabas niyo yung dalawang anak niyo. Sabi ng polis. Tapos pinakita po kami. Tapos inihila po kami ng polis. Inihila din po kami ng tatay ko at nanay ko. Yung pag-ihila po sa amin, bigla po kami pinusasan. Umiiyak po yung nanay ko at tatay ko.
It was 2 days before he found out he was being charged with rape.
Kung sino yung nirape namin, sinabi ito. Tapos sinabi namin, hindi naman namin kilala yan, ibit namin riripin yan. Hindi naman namin kasama yan dito, tsaka hindi naman namin kilala yan, hindi naman kami marunong mang-rape. Hindi naman na po kami.
The woman who had accused them was 21 and has since withdrawn the charges. But the system hasn't yet caught up and the boys are still in prison.
Akala ko po yun, mga 1 linggo lang po kami. Pagkaraan po na 1 linggo, lumiliman na po kami mag-1 buwan. Po ay nakakulong ng 7 buwan dito sa Caloocan City Jail. Kasi po, nanginayang po ako sa panahon nangyari dito. Kasi po, dapat mag-first year na ako sa pasukan. Kasi nga lang po, nakulong kami dito, kaya hindi ako natuloy mag-aral. Nakakabaryong po. Wala akong ginagawa dito.
Luckily for Eugene, he is not the smallest or youngest in the prison, so he is not at the bottom of the rigid pecking order in the cells. That place is reserved for Sandy. He ran away from home after an argument with his brother and was then picked up by the police for taking iron from a scrapyard. He hasn't seen his mother for 2 months.
Hindi pa po ako dinadalaw. Hindi pa po siguro. Sana po, dinadasal ko po na sana po dumalaw na po. Siya po, pagmamahal po.
The pecking order in the cells even dictates where the children sleep, with the more senior boys getting the cool of the floor and the younger ones trying to sleep in the heat of the top bunks.
Nahihirapan po ako sa pagtulog. Kasi po kami dyan. 71 po kami sa isang kwarto. Dapat po, mga 50 lang, o kaya 40. Ayun lang po karami sa isang kwarto dapat po.
7 months after he was arrested at gunpoint for a crime he didn't commit, 12-year-old Eugene has become one of the many thousands of forgotten children around the world whose lives are being corrupted by prison.
Ayoko na po maalala yung nangyari po dito. Di po pag kinalong po yung bata, medyo may iba po yung isip nila dito. Magiging masama po yung isip nila. Saka po, parang hindi na po sila matatakot na makulong. magagawa na po sila na masama. Yan lang po.
Sam and Paul are more fortunate. In England, only about 1 in 10 child prisoners serve their time in well-resourced secure units. This means children can be given almost one-to-one tuition and counselling.
Right, what we're going to do, we're going to start with this one. And bear in mind, we've got to use capital letters, so big H.
But with 30 or so highly volatile children living in close proximity, tensions run high.
Yo, Danny, man! Move!
Hey, Paul.
Fuck you.
Paul. No, Paul. No. Danny. That's enough. Now what we're going to do is just finish off. Don't worry about that.
Even with the very high staff-to-inmate ratio, for more than half of each day, the children are locked alone in their rooms.
The only thing I hate about here is I think we're in our rooms too long.
We come out at 9 o'clock in the morning, then we come in after lunch, which is about 12:30 till 1:15. Then we come out, and we're in again from 3:30 till 4. Come out, in again at 5 till 5:15, and we come out for tea. And then from 5:30 till 6:30 you're in, and then 8 o'clock till 1:15 you're in, and then 9 o'clock that's it for the rest of the night.
I think 9 o'clock's too early as well when we go into our rooms.
Yeah, but it is a secure unit.
Oh yeah, but stupid though, because I mean you put in your room at 9 o'clock, and by the time they've brought supper around and whatever, when you've done your jobs, it's like 9:45, say really, and then like you only get to watch about an hour of TV really, don't you? And it goes off quick. 11 o'clock's too early, I think.
But it is a secure unit.
I know, yeah, but 11 o'clock's still early. I mean, you're not even in, are you, at that time at home? So it does you ready.
What have you missed most of all since you've been here?
Oh, my mum and my dad.
And have your mum and dad managed to visit you whilst you've been here?
Yeah, a couple of times.
A couple of times in the 4 months?
Yeah, not many times, but they're going to try and get up here on Sunday.
Okay.
They can't make it.
And what sort of thing stops them from getting here?
The car keeps them breaking down. I phone them and ask them if they're coming down in a plight. If they can't come down, I just go, oh. Take it as the car's fault again.
დედაჩემ, მამაჩემ, რად გამაჩინეთ და თელავის ინტერნატში რად მიმაბარეთ ქურდობა და ხულიკნობა სულიკ მასწავლეს მილიციის 24 მე გავიტაცე მილიციამ დამიჭირა ჩამსვა ციხეში მამაჩემი ეხვეწება შვილი მანახეთ დაბრიდვაზე რომ გავიყო და მაშინ განახებთ ციხეს რათ უნდა ინის კარები მას უნდა კონდეს შუშა ბანდები შუშას გავტეხამ გავიპარები წავალ ბათუმში დავიმალები ბათუმის ზღვაზე პაბე დაიდგა შიგ პაბედაში ზური აიჯდა ადეკი ზური დამიტმერული ციხიდან ავარ გამოპარული
Georgi is 13.
ვუყურებ ხოლმე სულ სახლი მახსენდება. ჩემი სახლიდან კორპუსზე უყურებდი ხოლმე და კორპუსიდან კორპუსს უყურებდი ხოლმე სულ მახსენდება რა სახლი. პანჯერიდან პანჯერებს უყურებდი.
Georgi was living with his grandmother after both his parents had died when he was caught stealing with his cousin Tamaz. They were too young to go to the juvenile prison near their home in Tbilisi. Instead, the court sent them to a borstal on the far side of the Caucasus Mountains.
სახში მეც მშიერი ვიქნებოდი, ჩემი და მშიერი, იმის მშიება შეიძლება. წყალი ედგა, მარჯვენა მხარესა და წყალი ედგა. ისე რომ შემშენებით ყოფილიყო, ისე ცუდად გახდებოდა ეგრე და ეკებოდა. რაც ის მაგისტრისას რომ მოგეტანა. ნერვებზე ვიშლებოდა, იმიტომ გავდიოდი მოსაფარად.
The age of criminal responsibility in Georgia is 16, so in theory, Giorgi shouldn't be locked away. But with the economy falling apart and war just across the border in Chechnya, sorting out a remote prison school is a low priority for the Georgian government. In the meantime, far away from home, these children can only dream of seeing their families.
და 6 წელია ერთი ბავშვი არის აკადემია დედა არ უნახია 6 წელია და
When we contacted Giorgi's grandmother, we found the family had not visited the boys because she couldn't afford the £5 train fare across the mountains. We offered to pay for her, Giorgi's sister and Tamas's father to travel to the prison school to see the boys for the first time since they were locked away.
Modian!
Mama.
Lila razia molta. Lila. Baba poszło. Ja, regular gami khata.
Their family's arrival was not the only surprise for Giorgi and his cousin. Because we were filming, the prison authorities decided to demonstrate their leniency by setting them free. In spite of the deep unhappiness Giorgi experienced at the prison school, it wasn't a deterrent. Just 3 months after we filmed this departure, he was in prison again. The police caught him stealing and using drugs.
"12-year-old Vitor Hugo was picked up yesterday for street robbery. When he was arrested, he was high on crack cocaine, and he's still coming down from the effects of the drug.
Você vai para a audiência agora? Sim, senhora. Então, meu nome é Aline, eu trabalho junto com os advogados, tá? Qual que é o teu nome?
Vitor Hugo.
Vitor Hugo do quê? Sol. Quantos anos você tem? Quantos
Eu tenho
anos?
12.
12. A sua mãe veio?
Não, senhora.
Não?
Não moro em casa.
E o que você faz na rua? Você tá usando algum tipo de droga?
Tô.
O que você usa?
Crack.
Mas quanto tempo que você usa crack? Muitos tempos. Achei muito ruim.
Another boy awaiting trial today is Julio. He's also addicted to crack and living on the streets. Julio is 14 and still bitter from his last experience of prison.
Em 3 meses. Se andar com a mão assim, apanha, só a mão pra trás. Se falar tio e não falar senhor, apanha. Qualquer coisa que você fazer que ninguém gostar, você apanha. Que ninguém gostasse, que o monitor não gostava, você apanha.
Júlio Cássio dos Santos.
Presente, senhor. Se trocar ideia, na hora que não pode, apanha. Qualquer coisa que você fazer, você apanha. Saí revoltado, saí mais pior do que eu entrei. Não aprendi nada.
Still waiting in the corridor, Vitor is reunited with his mother, who's been told by the court of her son's hearing. It's the first time they've seen each other since he ran away from home almost a year ago. Since then, his mother has been diagnosed with cancer.
Chorava não. Não dá, filho. A mãe te ama demais. Pra te ver aqui. Para com isso. Eu te peço. Não estou chorando por felicidade. Por amor a você, filho. Mas eu tenho você. Pelo amor de Deus, para. Sai dessa. Eu te amo. De coração, filho. Beija um pouco de mim. Precisa pensar na tua irmã. Mas pelo menos um pouquinho assim, ó, de mim. Tua mãe tem pouco tempo. Você sabe o problema dela. É grave. Você sabe. Só isso que eu te peço, nada mais. Me dá um pouco só de vida. Só isso, meu filho, nada mais do que isso. Eu te amo. Só isso. Só isso. Não precisa chorar, não.
Vem aqui, você e seus filhos. E a testemunha... Ricardo Araújo, você? Vem cá.
Julio's case is also being heard. He's charged with robbery as well, but it's his drug habit that most concerns the judge.
Falaram se iam passar você para o tratamento? Que eu determinei aí.
O senhor já falou que eu ia continuar isso com
Da série, você usa droga? Usa droga?
Senhor.
Qual?
Maconha, senhor.
Deseja fazer tratamento.
Sim, senhor.
Então tá bom.
2 meses contando o dia que você entrou?
How do you feel about staying in prison for 2 months?
Acho ruim, senhor. Mas eu não vou ficar tudo isso, não. Tenho fé em Deus que eu não vou. Não sei se eu vou aguentar ficar 2 meses, não. O máximo que eu vou ficar é só até eu engordar um pouco. Vou sair fora.
After just a few hours with her son, Vitor's mother must say farewell once again. He's got 6 months for the street robbery he committed.
Vai pro meu.
The day after being arrested, Vitor and Julio have had their cases heard and have been sentenced. But the efficiency of the Brazilian courts is not matched by the prison service. They are being taken to one of Sao Paulo's notorious juvenile prisons. We would catch up with them in a month's time to see if Julio's next experience behind bars is any more effective than his last.
Cocoa Pops, Frosties, Rice Krispies, Alpen, Cornflakes, Paul. Choice is yours.
One of them.
Yeah.
Some of them Frosties. And that will do me for the night.
Can you try and describe to me what it feels like to be locked up?
It's not very nice. It's just not very nice. It feels all upsetting. Without any company, you got no company. It's just nasty. Because your mum and dad are at home, your sister, your brothers, or whatever, are out having fun. You're just standing there while sitting on your bed just thinking.
For those children who harm themselves, this time alone can be especially dangerous. The rooms in this secure unit are carefully designed to minimize the damage a child can do to him or herself. But as Sam explained, there's always something.
You're not allowed glass in here, so you can self-harm, but there's so much you could do it with. I could break up my ashtray and do it with my ashtray. I could do it with my shampoo lids, anything. You just feel like you get real angry and that, so you cut your arms and you feel much better. But you can't understand why it makes you feel better. Really can't understand why. The majority of it is just for attention. Do it for attention, but sometimes do it because you're angry or upset, and it's just like, it relieves your anger, if you know what I mean, just seeing the blood coming out. And that sounds disgusting. It does, it makes you feel better. It's just like, once you think about cutting your arms, you think, I'm going to cut my arms, going to cut my arms. And if you can just get past that 5 minutes thinking, I'm going to cut my arms, you'll be alright, you won't do it, you won't think about it. But it's just actually, when it first comes into your head, and it's hard to just walk away or whatever, just think of something else. You just got to do it. I hope I don't do it again. I can't say I won't do it again because I said that before and I did do it again. But I really hope it don't get to that point where I think about doing it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, bleed 2.
In Texas, 15-year-old Paulo also cut himself during his first few days in detention.
When I first got into the detention center, life sucked and everything, you know. It wasn't worth anything, but I had tried to kill myself like halfway, but then afterwards, like, nah, it's not worth it, so.
Paulo was involved with a burglary and given a 6 o'clock curfew. When he came home one night at 9, he was picked up and brought to the county detention center.
It was kind of depressing, man, but screw it. Like I said, you know, there's nothing, you don't have any control in here, so. I just get up and see, well, another day, man, see how it goes. And before you know it, it's already night, and you're going to sleep again, man. The days in here pass by pretty fast because there's nothing to do. You just wake up. Before you know it, you're doing the same routine, and then you go and sleep, man. You know, I mean, I started off my life pretty good, but everything just went downhill, man. And now I really don't care.
Like more than half the children arrested in the US, Paul uses drugs. To help him kick the habit and get away from crime, the court has decided that he will go to the county boot camp for 6 months.
1 minute you're free, and then the next minute you're in here, and then before you know it, you're already going to go to boot camp. But what's bad about boot camp is 6 months, man. It took quite a while.
Do you think boot camp is going to help you?
Not really. You know, in a way, it's not really, because it's just... I mean, honestly, I wanted to go back to court and ask them to send me to somewhere where they can help me, man, you know. Because I'm not a troublemaker, but I do have problems with drugs, man. It's not something that, it's like a major problem. It's pretty bad, but when you think about it, what's worse? Someone stalking you with a gun, or someone who's out in the streets just smoking a joint? You know what I mean? I mean, I'd much rather stay 6 months here, man, because you're just in a detention, you don't do anything. But at boot camp, they push you real hard, man, to do a lot of stuff. And 6 months, it's a lot of work, man. People I see at boot camp, man, they look pretty strong, man. Sometimes they scare me, man, but I guess I'm gonna have to go through it because there's nothing else I can do. It scares you, man, because, you know, these guys are huge, man, you know. And I don't know, I mean, I'm just a kid, man, but I hope I just get through it, man. I don't really care anymore. Screw it. Just do my time.
You want Delta? Delta? Yeah.
Why don't you drop those tennis shoes? Don't you be holding anything in your hands when you're talking to me. Keep your hands by the side, get your heels together, head up, eyes forward, chest out. Let me hear you say, sir, sir. Say it again, sir. Say it again, sir. That's the first thing that's gonna come out of your mouth for the next 6 months. Say it again. Sir, yes, sir. Say it again, you. Sir, yes, sir. Say it again, you. Sir, yes, sir. Now look at my yellow line. This is gonna be your new home. Your new home for the next 6 months. This is my house. You run on that side. Because cadets, I'll tell you what. Cadets move quick, fast, and in a hurry around my yellow line. Every time I tell you move, you go, you understand? You go and you run, you understand? Sir, yes, sir. When I say go, you run. I want to see you post yourself at that empty rack over there, because I tell you what, that's where you're going to leave. Go! Hurry up, you! Hurry up! Don't do it! Don't you drop! Don't you drop! I'll tell you what, this is where you're gonna live. This is where you're gonna stay for the next 6 months. Don't you make me move me. I swear, I tell you what. If you don't want to move, I will move you. I say go, you move. Go! Hurry up, you! Get your body in my shower head! Move. Other shower head. Get your hands up. Get your hands up. Get off my wall, you. I didn't say anything about putting your hands on my wall. When I say get your hands up, I mean get your hands all the way up. You understand what I'm telling you? Sir, yes, sir! You understand what I'm telling you? Sir, yes, sir! When I say go, you move, you take that trash off, you understand? Sir, yes, sir! Ready, go! Hurry up, take that trash off! Now, take it all the way up! What? You embarrassed now? All of a sudden, now you embarrassed. Well, let me tell you what. In here, you just lost your privacy. Everything you had out there is gone. You ain't got no privacy here, son. Take it off. Take it all off. Put that junk on your privates. Put it on your privates. Put it all behind your ears, on your neck, on your butt, everywhere. Don't you be pretty about it. Get that junk off. Sir, sir. When I say go, you press that button, you take that trash off. Ready, go. Take that trash off. Take it off. Take it off. Hurry up. Hurry up. What? Get your head wet, you. Get that hair wet. Get all that trash off of you. Get that detention mentality out of your body. Ready, stop. Ready, stop. Don't you touch my stuff. One thing you're going to learn here, son, you don't move unless I tell you to move. You are now, at this moment, boot camp property. You understand that? Sir, yes, sir! I'll get you in there. Turn around, face me, don't you? Look at me, son. Don't you look at me. What do you look at me for? Bend over. Think about what's happening. Think about what's happening. Think about what's going on. Hello, hair. Hello, hair. Get up. Pick your head up a little bit. Right there, right here. Get all that stuff nice enough, because I tell you what was you is no longer. You're gone. Right here, I'm molding, I'm making a new cadet. Now you want to look at yourself, don't you? You want to look at yourself. You just already, you want to look at yourself, don't you? So I'll tell you what. Turn around. Turn around. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that right there? Sir, cadet, sir! Why don't you shut your mouth when you talk to me at the position of attention? Apparently you have not learned anything. Apparently you need a method of training, and that's physical training. How about you get your body back down on that floor? Get your body on that floor. How do cadets talk? Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. When I say down, you go down. And when I say up, you go up. I tell you what, I told you to put this in a neat fashion, didn't I? I'm messing with you, right? That's what it is. I'm just messing with you. I tell you what, on the outside, you mess with people. You mess with people all over the place. You want to treat them like trash? Didn't I not tell you to pay attention to detail? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Halfway down. Halfway up. Halfway down. Think about halfway down. Halfway up. Halfway down. Up. Halfway down. Up. Now, you're gonna make all kinds of mistakes, and I tell you what, that's fine. It's your first day. But you're not gonna do it more than twice. You're not gonna do it more than twice. Do it more than twice.
In Brazil, Vitor Hugo and Julio have both been sent to the same juvenile prison, a tower block in central Sao Paulo. After their tearful reunion in court, Vitor is now badly missing his mother.
Só vi minha mãe depois de ano, senhor. Pensa, né, senhor? Penso todo dia da minha mãe. Penso na minha mãe, na minha irmã. A única família, né, senhor? A única família que eu tenho na vida é minha mãe e minha irmã. Vai que um dia nós falece e eu ficar com ninguém, ficar na rua, jogado. Mas Deus quiser, nunca vai acontecer isso. Pra ver quantos meses eu tô internado. Eu vou ficar 6 meses sem ver minha mãe. Nenhum menor gosta de ver bem, né, senhor? Ficar preso. Lá fora é outra coisa, né, senhor? Lá fora é melhor.
Julio is serving only 2 months, but he's not getting the drug rehab the judge ordered, and all he cares about is getting out.
Que não dá, unidade tudo fechada. Quero ir pra uma unidade aberta, pra me fugir sozinho.
What about your friends in here?
Amigo você não tem nenhum lugar não, senhor. Você não tem amigo. Nessa vida que você tá aqui, ó, nessa vida que eu tô aqui, ó, você não tem amigo. Amigo é aquela pessoa que você pai, cola, te fala coisas boas. Não fala aí, vamos catar aquele monitor ali, vamos zoar. Ou então aí, tá vendo isso daqui? É um revólver, vamos colar ali, vamos roubar aquele maluco que ele tá com a boa. Você é amigo? Você não é amigo. Muito patifão daqui. Não é mais veneno, mas já que eu tô no veneno, só tem muito patife, só tem patifão. Esse tempinho que eu fiquei, eu já tô revoltado. Imagina daqui 2 meses, como que eu não vou sair pra fora? 2 meses, imagina como que eu não vou sair. Saiu capeta, mano. Saí roubando todo mundo. Usando droga pra caramba pra esquecer as revoltas. Daqui 2 meses eu vou apanhar pra caramba dos monitor do caralho aí.
Chega perto de mim, me deixa falar, sempre de muito longe, sem me condenar. Enquadramento às 8 horas, o que vou fazer agora? Poucos manos é que vão embora, violência pra quem vai ficar. Juro que não entendo este lugar. Muitos têm futuro, muitos têm talento. Se tivesse alguma ocupação, a molecada não estaria nessa não. Esse lugar escuro nada acontece. Fico feliz quando o dia amanhece. A justiça não me deixa falar e sem ouvir a minha voz me interna aqui nesse lugar.
Todo mundo apanha. Não tem um que não apanha de monitor aqui. Só porque você tá trocando uma ideia assim que seu colega te arrasta, esse cu do caralho. Só que é o seguinte, esses monitor aqui, ó, a gente tromba no mundão. Trombar no mundão é daquele jeito. Aqui quem manda é eles, lá quem manda é nós.
Brazil's prisons have become so notorious for brutality by guards that the UN investigator on torture, Sir Nigel Rodley, has come to conduct an independent inquiry. But the young offenders at this juvenile detention centre, Franco de Rocha, are afraid that if they speak to Sir Nigel, the guards will victimise them once the UN team has left.
Foi na mesma noite que vocês chegaram, então? Chegaram no dia e à noite foram
De noite nós tomamos depois eu garanto pra vocês que depois vocês vão embora, só vai ser uma vida.
Right after you guys leave, they're gonna beat us in the end.
Apanharam muito aqui.
We've been beaten a lot. A lot.
Olha lá a cara dele,
Look at their face. Look at their face. They're shaking in this face. Eu apanhei muito direto. Esse quer saber onde tá? Esse quer saber.
Sir Nigel suddenly leaves the group and goes off on his own. Even his officials don't know what he's up to. He's been told by the prisoners that batons used to beat them are hidden in a room above.
Isso aí é um objeto de uso. Rodo, vassoura.
Cabeça também foi quebrado.
Oi?
He said it was also used on our heads. He said this is stuff that we use on a daily basis. He said, yeah, on our heads.
Normal. Quebra assim mesmo.
What do you do?
You clean the floors with the broken
Vocês
sticks.
limpam com os pedacinhos quebrados?
I wasn't born
Não,
yesterday.
Eu não nasci ontem.
I have to tell you, Director,
Senhor diretor, deixa eu dizer uma coisa.
that what that evidence there suggests to me is that allegations that maybe the rebellions are provoked
As rebeliões foram provocadas
may not be without foundation.
e, portanto, talvez as rebeliões não tenham sido sem.
A week after Sir Nigel's visit, this photograph was released by some of the boys' lawyers. Despite the governor's assurances that there would be no reprisals for talking to Sir Nigel, it's clear they've been beaten.
In England, 3 months have passed since we first came to the secure unit.
Get my bags? Yeah.
Have you been in any trouble since we were last here?
Yeah, I'm sanctioned at the moment because
What does that mean?
like punishment. I'm not allowed on the field or the tennis court or the gym for 2 weeks.
Does that mean you're banned from any form of exercise?
Yeah, I can do exercise over here.
What sort of exercise would you do here?
Run around the lounge or something like that.
So you're not allowed outside?
No.
At all?
Yeah, to walk to lessons and that's it.
And how does that make you feel if you're sort of
Does my head
inside?
in because when you're in a police cell, you're entitled to an hour's exercise a day, and we can't even get that in there because we're on punishment.
A central part of the rehabilitation programme in secure units is the use of group discussions about crime and its consequences. Children here all take part in group sessions like this at least twice a week.
And what about people who have been the victims of the kind of crimes you guys have committed? How do you think they feel? And how do you think you can put it right?
You can.
Well, I don't know if you... I think
The courts can.
How can
They can put you down for swimming quite a long time.
courts are tossers? Yeah. Why is that?
Because look what they've done to all of us, man.
Do you think you got a fair sentence?
No.
What?
I got off lightly.
You got off lightly?
Yeah.
What about you, Paul? Do you think you got off
I
lightly?
wasn't really, no, because I've only done four things wrong.
So if you were a magistrate, what sentence do you think he should have given you or she should have given you?
A day or two.
A day or two? So how sorry are you?
Not very.
Would you, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you commit a crime again?
No.
Brendan, how do you feel? Do you think you're going to commit crime again and feeling pretty bad about what you did? Deepak? You feel sorry for what you did?
No.
And you want your victims? A bit.
A bit, yeah.
I can't say I'm not going to reoffend when I get out because I don't know until I get out there. Like with a short sentence, you think, oh, I'll just get through this and then I'll be out and I'll do what I was doing again, and it don't matter, I ain't going to teach you nothing in that.
We got to work together.
It would be easier if you worked in pairs because it's...
Right. When I was inside the last 2 times, I did want to change, but I didn't, if you know what I mean. I was just saying that to everyone. I didn't want to change, really. I was happy the way things are going. I couldn't wait to get out and get pissed and things like that.
This is obviously a better place than a young offenders institution.
This is like rehab, isn't it? Yeah. If you go in prison, you just have to do your bird, and you're going to do your bird and get out and carry on exactly the way you was living before. Coming in here, they look like you've got drug and alcohol counselling, group work, key work sessions, anger management, things like that. And you do one-to-one things, and then like you build up your confidence and that, and so you rehabilitate, innit? So you go out and you're a much better person, and you've changed in that. So.
You have the opportunity to talk to people, and hopefully we will listen to you.
And hopefully.
Hopefully we will listen to you, right? You know.
I've only done 3 months, so I'm only a third of the way there. I've got another 6 to go. But I think if I went out now, I'd be exactly the same as I was before. Even though I don't want to be, and I do want to change, I think that the temptation would be there and influences and that. And I'd be back inside within a couple of weeks. So.
But Sam still has difficulty controlling her outbursts of anger.
Don't look at me like I'm a piece of shit on the bottom of your shoe, because I ain't. Well, why are you being mouthy to me? If you had a little bit of respect for me, Ashley, then I wouldn't be like it with you. Huh? Well, behave yourself, innit? I do respect you. I give you a T-shirt yesterday, didn't I? I didn't have to do that, but I did, out of the kindness of my heart. Well then, well don't get lippy with me then. Why tell me to shut up? I'm telling you. Yeah, because I'm telling you, well, if you've got a headache, then why are you going in like this? Your headache can't be that fucking bad. I'll give you a fucking headache in a minute, you little fucking prick. Don't fucking cheat me again. He's a little fucking prick.
It's Sunday morning and I ain't in a fucking mood.
Almost a year after we first met him in court, Vitor Hugo is preparing for his release.
Vou estudar, vou trabalhar, vou lá com a minha mãe, fazer tudo, seguir pela frente, né? Começar a ser outra gente, sem droga, sem roubo, sem nada.
Vitor's mother is also on her way to the juvenile court. She hopes the judge will grant her son his freedom.
Conversei com ele e falou, mãe, eu vou parar dessa vida que eu tô nela, porque isso não dá futuro pra ninguém. Então eu vou parar, eu vou estudar, vou arrumar um serviço, vou trabalhar. Agora eu peço a Deus que ele pare. Porque falar, o senhor sabe que todo mundo fala lá dentro. Enquanto tá lá dentro, eles falam. Agora eu quero ver aqui fora, né? Então quando chega lá, o juiz fala, toma, tu some que o Vitor tá aqui. Pode levar. Eu nem pra trás eu olhava, viu? Então, filho, vambora. Bora, filho. Chega. Mas não é como a gente quer, né? É como eles querem. Tem que esperar a vontade do juiz.
Responsável por Vitor Hugo Carnaval.
Vitor Hugo, você já sabe, você hoje vai embora já com a sua mãe, tá certo? Vai ser inserido em liberdade assistida, tem que cumprir a medida direitinho, continua tendo que cumprir, porque se deixar de cumprir, você pode ser internado por até 3 meses. Isso tenha servido para que você realmente possa mudar e não se envolver mais com as companhias, com drogas. Se tiver problema com droga, envolvimento com droga, procura ajuda, tá? Para poder se afastar. E se você tiver qualquer problema no cumprimento da LA, você vem até aqui. O que não pode, como eu disse, é sumir.
Despite spending almost a year in prison, Vitor managed to stay with his mother for only 2 months before returning to the streets. He was arrested in early November for robbery and is yet again behind bars. Julio did manage to escape from the prison he was in, but is again in court for another street robbery.
Pegou alambrados, depois fui pra rua, voltei a roubar de novo. Já tá bom, nós daqui nós vai falar pro juiz ali, depois nós vamos, depois nós vamos. Ah, mas não fala nada pra ele não, deixa que eu ver, mas não fala nada pra ele não, fugir nem nada. Que nem tá no relatório, isso daí nem constou. Constou, mas não sei se tá no papel dele.
Ou Júlio Cássio dos Santos. Júlio, você está sendo acusado de ter feito um roubo junto com o Fábio, com o Flávio, com o Hélio e com o Júlio.
O Flávio não estava.
O Flávio não estava. Como é que foi o roubo?
Senhor?
Como é que foi
o
roubo?
Assim, senhor. Nós estávamos, né, senhor? Nós estávamos numa fome, né, senhor? Estava tudo sujo, né, senhor? Precisando de uma roupa.
Os 4?
Senhor? Não, senhor, era 4, só que o outro fugiu, senhor.
Quem estava com fome?
Daí nós fomos falar.
Nós quem, garoto?
Eu, o Wellington e o Fábio, senhor.
Então, você se chama Júlio.
Sim, senhor.
O Júlio, o Wellington e o Flávio? Ou o
Não,
Fábio?
o Fábio.
Então o Júlio, o Wellington e o Fábio foram para o semáforo.
Sim, senhor.
All 4 boys are called, but afterwards, Julio feels that one of them, the youngest boy, has let the rest of the gang down.
Lá os 4 tava mó vacilão, você, nós ia pegar um caso de recuperação. Agora se não for internado, quando nós sair, você tá fudido. Escuta o que eu tô falando. Tá fudido. Então eu quero ver se não. É lógico, parceiro, todo mundo deu a ideia certa, você, pá, mano. Agora se nós ia pegar um caso de recuperação daqui 10 ou 15 dias, nós ia pôr a casa de recuperação aí, ó. E o casa de recuperação é mundão, parceiro, é mundão. Sai, agora você chega e fala, tava uns 4, todo mundo falou que... Daí você vai e tá falando dela, você é mó vacilão.
Temos a confissão, a acusação do outro lá dizendo que estava
Mas
roubando.
o Flávio, de minha parte...
O Fábio confessou.
Não,
O Fábio negou.
o Fábio negou.
Foi o primeiro, disse que não participou, que não estava nada.
Também negou. Os 2 primeiros negaram. E que
É.
os outros acusaram.
Os 3 falou que ele não tava. Daí você vai e fala, os 4 tava. Com o João nominou as ideias, agora é o seguinte, eu falei os 4 não. Primeiro ele falou que ele não, primeiro ele... O juiz tá mentindo, o juiz tá mentindo. Primeiro ele falou assim, só sei que se nós for internado, você tá primeiro ele falou assim.
Foi o primeiro, disse que não participou, que não estava nada.
O Flávio confessou.
Não, o Flávio negou também.
O Flávio negou
Os 2
também.
primeiros negaram.
O Wellington, que estava com a
Confessou
faca,
isso que
os
tava
4
todo-
roubando. E o Júlio?
Disse que tava Fábio, o Wellington, Júlio e André, ou...
E o Flávio estava
Thiago.
fora.
Ah, o nome dele não sei o que, falou. O nome de não sei quem e o nome assim. Você falou os 4 tava, mano. Nossa, se nós for internado, puta, como a gente trombar no mundo, você tá fudido. Você tira o cabelo do mano. Então eu quero ver.
Sua mãe conhece lá.
Então vai lá pra ideia com sua mãe lá então.
Podia falar com a mãe depois tá ligado,
Julio and his gang were all sentenced to 6 months.
So how do you feel about the future?
Penso nada. Se tivesse futuro, você estaria estudando, senhor. Agora roubando, vindo pra FEBEM, qual futuro eu vou ter? Isso eu não roubo mais. Gosto não, senhor, porque é preciso. A vida, andar tudo sujo na rua. Tem que andar arrumadinho pra não ficar apanhando direto, tomando enquadro de polícia direto. Porque eu moro na rua, se eu parar de roubar, vou morrer de fome. Vou andar tudo sujo. Daí agora sempre aí eu tô rezando aí, né, senhor? Que eu quero voltar, né, senhor? Sair, né, senhor? E curtir, né, senhor? Que eu tenho pra curtir ainda, né, senhor? Enquanto eu sou adolescente, né, senhor? Nem curti direito um pouco a vida, né, senhor? Só sofrimento, sofrimento, né, senhor? Fome. Porque eles tiram a escolinha do crime, né, senhor? Aí lá já é 1000 graus, aí lá você já aprende o que é crime mesmo, se uma faculdade do crime. Você já aprende de tudo que é ruim, né, senhor? Mas eu não quero isso pra mim não, né, senhor? Nem, tipo assim, né, senhor? Nem curti minha infância direito, certo, senhor? Só preso, preso, preso.
At the secure unit, Paul's sentence finally comes to an end today. He feels he has changed as a result of his imprisonment.
I've got more muscles than I did. And like anyone starts to getting it in the face, it's the will. One word out of their mouth comes, I'll grab it. I'll grab this particular kid and I'll throw him straight through the classroom window. I don't care. Then I'll have to pay for it and so get arrested.
Come back here.
That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? Well, it wouldn't, and it would. Because this is the only place where I like.
better to put the beer in there?
No, not in there.
Because that would protect that, wouldn't it? It would act as a bit of protection for it.
What have you not liked about being here?
Me have to beat up all the kids, man. And me getting seen as one blooming hiding it. So I'm a bit now. I'm a bit of a hiding it.
So were you hard when you came in?
No. I was one of them little weaklings. Right down here I was. And look what I've got. Hiya.
So, you got the address and that? Bonus? Right to us? What are you thinking? Huh?
I don't want to go home.
You don't? Time to move on though, Paul. You've been here long enough, haven't you?
Yeah.
Huh? So what have you been doing this morning? Just packing?
Yeah.
The phone. Callum, you just let them into the reception part, yeah? And I'll come up there, yeah? Thanks, Heather. Bye. They're here, Paul?
Yes.
They're here?
Oh no, I'm starting to get upset. I don't want to leave.
Huh? Say again?
I don't want to leave.
You don't want to leave. Hey, right V, right Gary?
Hey, freedom now, eh? What's this?
That's right, turn that there.
I'm not looking forward to going home and going out. I'm concerned about my life, what's going to happen when I get out.
In the boot camp, Paolo is still learning the ropes.
Sir, cadet number 16, request permission to speak, sir.
What's your last name? How about that part? Try it again.
Sir, cadet number 16, McLean, sir, request permission to speak,
wrong,
sir.
Wrong! Sir, cadet McLean, number 16, request permission to speak, sir. Try it again.
Sir, cadet McLean, number 16, request permission to speak, sir.
Speak.
Sir, cadet request permission to...
No, wrong! Sir, Cadet McLean, number 16, request permission for Alpha Squad to enter boot camp facility, sir. Can you get it right now? Or is that too much?
Sir, I can get it right, sir.
Everybody else learned it. How about you? You're nobody special. Try it again from the beginning.
Sir, Cadet McLean, number 16, request permission to speak, sir.
Speak.
Sir, Cadet McLean, number 16, sir. Request permission for...
Get out of my face. Get to the rear. We're going to settle this later on. Let me hear it.
Sir, Cadet Law number 1, request speak just after in your sir.
These people are trying to help me out, you know. I better take it or leave it. And if you don't screw up, they won't shout at you. But if you screw up, they will. So I won't screw up. Because, I mean, they'll be proud if you show yourself, you know, you're worthy. I mean, at first, they won't be because, I mean, you're nothing. You know, you haven't shown yourself to be worthy to be. But, I mean, now they're starting to give me more chances and everything because, you know, I've already been doing everything, you know, a lot better and everything already. And, you know, working real hard and everything, so they're not screaming at me as much.
Are you scared? Answer me, son.
Sir, yes, sir.
Stand up, sir. Do I make you nervous?
Sir, yes, sir.
Well, I tell you what you're gonna do is you're gonna make it in life. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to hurt you. But unfortunately, you couldn't make it in society. So they brought you to me and my wonderful and friendly staff. That's all right, son. Like I said, we're gonna teach you. Drop. Oh.
We're here to correct character deficiencies. So they come into the boot camp, naturally there's gonna be some hollering, but we stop the hollering after the first day. There's only a few times that we raise our voice. You don't need to do that to train people. If they get hollered at all the time, they're just gonna tune off because they get that from their family members. We put them through a stressful environment the first day, let them know, wake them up, shave their hair, let them know that everybody's the same, readily identifiable. And then we introduce them to the population. They get a little bit of welcome aboard and they see how they fit in. They take pride in themselves. The people who think we're hurting the kids, they need to take a closer look. Now, there have been boot camps in the past that got carried away. And those people, I have to say, they weren't really trained. They weren't taking the philosophy in hand that these are children. They're not soldiers. We're not training them to go out there to war. We train them to be out there in a civilization and become better persons.
The first exercise for today will be the side straddle hold.
Before Paolo came to the boot camp, he believed it wouldn't help him in any way. Now, his attitude has completely changed.
I think boot camp's the best way to prepare anyone for life, because when you get out of boot camp, man, you feel good about yourself, man. You feel like, hey, man, I can do anything. I mean, because you've gone through real hard stuff, man. Boot camp makes you feel proud about yourself. It makes you realize that, hey, man, there's a lot more in life. It gives you self-discipline. It makes you think fast. It shows you, hey, man, you know, I can do a lot of stuff. It just teaches you, you know, man, when I get out of here, I'm going to do something with my life.
Here we go. Here we go. Having fun. Having fun. Here we go.
I've never felt like this. Because, I mean, all the other times I've been in placement, I didn't care, man. I was like, man, my parents put me in here, you know, screw them, you know, I don't care. When I get out, you know, I'm gonna get revenge and everything, but no, when I get out of here, I ain't gonna get revenge, I'm gonna make them proud, you know.
About peace. One step forward, march. About peace. Column left.
Boot camps in the USA have had a difficult history, with some extreme cases of children dying of dehydration and exhaustion, and numerous complaints of brutality. Even though boot camp recruits show a marked improvement in attitude while in the camp, this usually doesn't last once they're released.
Stop! Stop! Why don't you want to pay attention? You just want to get me mad, right? Sir, no, sir! Shit, better begin! You want to get me pissed
This
off!
boot camp is one of the best in the country, and in the 2 years it has been running, most of the boys that have been through have so far stayed out of trouble. But the captain is clear that their success has more to do with the way they follow up the boys after they've left than with the regime in the camp itself.
When we send these kids home, if we don't have effective aftercare, he's going to go back into the same environment, and who's going to keep him on track? In our aftercare program, the staff over here will call and check on him and see if he's making curfew. We also call and check on his educational level, see if he's complying with school. So we keep track on that, and we also talk to the parents all the time. And we also have an open door policy for any former cadet to come back here and seek help. So that's the support we give them, and they need an aftercare. If we don't have effective aftercare, no boot camp in the world is going to work.
Son, is that the down position? Is that the down position, son? You see everybody else in the down position except you. Oh, just because you're new, son, you think you're going to get a break? I don't think so. I don't think so, son. Get up!
Perhaps because of the intensive follow-up, only a quarter of the kids who come through this boot camp re-offend.
Oh, you ain't in Kansas no more, are you, Toto? Why are you moving? Why are any of you all moving at the position of attention?
By comparison, in Britain, a staggering 84% of child prisoners are reconvicted within 2 years.
That's all right. That's why I got money.
But there is a child prison where nearly all the inmates stay out of trouble after their release. A prison where the children live as part of the local community, instead of being isolated behind bars.
These boys are all inmates of the Ankara Juvenile Prison. Tonight, with just a few staff in tow and no special security, they're going to see a play about life in one of Turkey's adult jails. But this outing is not a special treat. Trips to the theatre, football matches and the cinema are regular events for these boys. It's all part of a regime that has more in common with a boarding school than a prison.
Sana babam öldüğünde masraf, hani millet geliyor, koyun kesti, bir şey kesti. Ondan sonra su parası, telefon parası. Evet, yani ne diyeyim yani çok ağır masraf. Elektriğe başlattı.
15-year-old Erkan was sentenced to 3 years for theft. Like all the other boys here, he spent time in a closed prison on remand before he was sentenced.
Kapalı cezaevi varsa ama orası kötü bir yerde. Yatılmaz bir yerde. Sadece orada böyle gökyüzüne görebilen o. Başka bir şey değil.
The Turkish authorities decided the best way of tackling crime was to put as much effort as possible into stopping young criminals becoming older criminals. And to do that, they believed they had to get them out of traditional prisons as soon as possible. Berhan is 14.
Ortam oluyor. Yani başka mesela sigara, içki, eroin, hırsızlık o tip şeyleri öğretiyorlar. Zaten orada sürekli kaldığın zaman mutlaka öğrenirsin yani alışkanlık olur. Dışarıda da yaparsın sanırım.
While Turkey's adult prisons are notorious, this prison is very different. There's no imposing main gate here, no high walls topped with razor wire. If a child wanted to escape, there's very little to stop him. In fact, more than half of the children leave the prison campus unaccompanied every day, either to go to school or to work. They come back every evening, not just because of the threat of a closed prison if they do run away, but because they like the opportunities the reformatory offers.
Bura bence evimden de buranın daha yasınım. Çok iyi burası. Yani firar etmeyi düşünürler. Ama açık olduğu için kimse düşünmüyorsun. Ya böyle iyi yeri bir şey görmüşler daha kaçıyorlar. 3-4 ay cezalar kalmış.
The prison authorities get the older boys jobs in local factories. When they complete their sentences, these young men usually keep their jobs and simply move to a house share with other former inmates. These boys are not isolated from society as they would be in most prisons. Perhaps that's why this is the most effective child prison we found anywhere in the world.
Mesela geldiğim yerden daha bir değişiklik hissediyorum. Yani orada böyle açılmamıştım yani. Orada insan zaten içine kapalıyor. Yani burada açıldık. Çünkü çok şeyler gördük. Yaşadık. Buranın insanları güzel yani sevgi gösteriyorlar. Biz de işte ona göre saygımızı yapıyoruz. Ona göre işte.
Ben efendi olmayı deniyorum. Dışarı çıktığımda bir işe girip çalışmayı öyle düşünüyorum. Bir mesleğimiz olmasını onu istiyorum. Daha doğrusu var mesleğimiz. Öğrenmezdim yani. Gene aynı şey devam, aynı şey. Ama iyi oluyor buraya geldiğimiz yani. Efendi olmayı istiyor yani bazı şeyleri düşünmeyi. Orada bazıları yani gidip geliyorlar yani en son ceza bağlandılar mı tamam.
Most of the child prisoners we met around the world are not bad children who can be punished into being good. They are troubled and in need of help. Society must be protected from a very small number of violent offenders. But the majority of the children in our prisons are not dangerous.
By locking them up, we confirm all their worst beliefs about themselves and society, and make it more and more likely that they will offend again and again. Yet despite this, in almost every country in the world, we are locking up more and more children.
Is that what you're striving for? Trying to be fine, so when you get out of here, you will be so fine you won't get yourself in trouble anymore. Is that right? Sir, yes, sir! Is that right? Sir, yes, sir!
Putting kids behind bars is not the answer to child crime.